Alright, so I'm recording this just because if I don't, nobody believes me. So I'm reading this, right? Oh, you know what? Let me start with this. With it, he produces for you corn, olives, date palms, grapes, and every kind of fruit. Verily, in this is a sign for those who give thought. He has made a subject to you the night and the day, the sun and the moon and the stars are in subjection by his command. Verily, in this are signs for men who are wise, or women, for they who are wise. And the things on this earth in which he has multiplied in varying colors and quantities, verily in this is a sign for they who celebrate the praises of God in gratitude. So we'll do that one. He punishes who he pleases, he grants mercy to those to whom he pleases, and towards him are you turned. Oh, this one is the spider, verse 21. Here's 22. Not on earth nor in heaven will you be able, fleeing, to frustrate his plan. Nor have you, besides God, any protector or helper. Those who reject the signs of God and the meeting with him in hereafter, it is they who shall despair of my mercy. It is they who will suffer a most grievous penalty. Now, where are the three names? Because that's going to help me talk about this dream. And then let's learn the mounts and the star. Alright. In the star, verse 19 and 20. Have you seen Lot and Uzzah and another, the third goddess, Manat? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I just picked this up. This is the first time I ever read the Quran. I was in the Benny Bin, and they had a Quran. Well, I asked them for a Quran. You know, to keep with the themes, you know. Like Akon said, I'm locked up. They won't let me out. I got lemonade in this cup because that was like the only like little joy of snack time. I got this because, oh man, I forgot what the name of it was. Something about Essence, John Cena. Because you can't see me. And then, never give up. Hustle, loyalty, respect. There, 3 again. So now let's talk about my 3. So about 7 years ago, I had this dream. Like Martin Luther King said. But mine a little different. So 7 years ago, I had this dream where I was walking through the valley of the shadow of death. On my right, I did it again. On the left, there was the panther who didn't say anything when I started in this dream. I went to my happy place, which was my grandma's backyard, which is ironic because that also is full of the most trauma. But my grandma's backyard, on my right, there was a wolf. And that was the only one that was talking to me. He said, come in your truest form. So I turned into a mandrill. Monkey boy. So that's what they used to call me when I was a kid. For many different reasons. One was racial too, just because I act, you know, like Rafiki from The Lion King. So back to what I was saying. The signs. So 7 years ago, I had this dream. Left. Right was the wolf, left was the shadow coming towards me, but it didn't say anything. It was creeping in the trees. And it was a panther. My grandpa on my mama's side native, and before he died, he said to my mama, the wolves are coming for me to take me back. And that stuck with me when she told me that. It stuck with me because I was like, I see my spirit guide me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I read those verses. Because some people say I'm crazy, but if I was Christian, they'd say it was a sign from God. If I was Muslim, they'd say it's a sign from Allah. If I was Buddhist, they say it was a sign from Buddha. But I'm a hoodoo man, so they say I'm crazy. No. I take all the religions and I learn from them because I think you can learn something from everybody. That's why I want to get to know all people. That was one of my dreams. That's it. Getting ahead of myself. So boom. That was the first night. Second night, after me and my best friend, we went to this sand dune park in Sagatuck. And I looked up just randomly and I seen a monarch butterfly fly into the sun and then it disappeared. Looked like it incinerated. Ooh, sorry. Shivering because I'm cold. Looked like it incinerated into the sun. And I was like, that's crazy. So I started looking around. She asked me what I was doing. I was like, I'm looking for this butterfly. And then I turned to my left and I see 3 butterflies. 2 white, 1 monarch. Literally dancing around the moon. And I dropped cover arts and shit like that. And a lot of my art has 3 butterflies dancing around the moon. But now I do 3 butterflies dancing with the sun. So later, there was this girl who I was dating. Her name was Sky. And she was holding a dead monarch in her hands. I got the picture of it. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Fell asleep, had this dream. Wait. I seen the moon that same night, later that night, set. Like it went over, we went to Grand Haven, sat on the pier, we watched the moon set. It went through the colors from blue to red and then disappeared. And I thought that was weird because it was the opposite of what you would expect. You know what I mean? I just remember seeing that. And it just stuck with me for 7 years. Because then I went to bed and I had this dream where I'm back as the Mandra. And the panther on my left, wolf on my right. But this time, they're humans with the animals around them. Hopefully that's not the coons. Got raccoons. They be trying to eat my bird seed. So, they started guiding me towards the woods of my grandma's backyard. And I was like, where are we going? But I couldn't speak in this dream. But they could read my thoughts. And they were like, don't worry. And then it all started turning black. Like, it started turning black and hazy. So I was like, that's crazy. I started getting a little weary. Not scared, but a little weary. A little like, So I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. I fear no evil, for thou art with me. That's what I remembered. And I remember that verse stuck with me because I was watching the movie Notorious. And they were saying that over the phone. He was saying it to his mom when he was locked up. I was in a different kind of lockup, but still a lockup nonetheless. That's what everybody in there said. Who been to many different places, they said this place is just like there. I was like, that's what's up. So I started walking. And then they started falling behind. And they said, just keep going and don't turn back. Keep your eyes ahead. So that's what I did. I kept my face forward. And then I'm walking through here and I hear stop. Or really what I heard was halt. And so I stopped. Mind you, I'm still the fucking mandrill the whole time. I think that was a mandrill. Mandrill or baboon. Whichever one's tan with the red face. Irony. Listen to my Project Echo. James Baldwin will tell you about seeing red. And why that's significant, you gotta listen to that. I'm not explaining it here. This video is already gonna be long enough. So boom. Out pops this giant silverback gorilla, and he's just making his way going. And then he turned towards me, and his eyes roll into the back of his head, and his stomach implodes. Out pops a bunch of flies, forming into the Hoodoo Man. I can't remember the actual name of him, but he had a big mask on. And he had a staff. So I always keep a staff on me now. Staff was always my weapon of choice. That and knives, but a staff, like in video games. So I'm just watching, because what do? I see the giant silverback. Oh, forgot to say. It was all black. And then it's from head to toe turned into white. And that's when its stomach exploded and formed into the witch doctor. And then some words were spoken. I remember them but don't remember them. Cicada theory. It's on my YouTube. I won't explain it here. Watch it there. It's a scavenger hunt for real. If you want to know this whole entire story, I've been talking about it for a long time. Nobody's been listening. And then when I finally said it in its entirety, they locked me up. So now it's a scavenger hunt because I got trauma. So he starts talking to me. He's giving me some words of wisdom. He asked me, what do I want to be? What's my goal? And I said, I want everybody to live in peace. And I want everybody to eat. Everybody deserves to eat. We live on this planet. It should all be free. Why do we pay for water? That's really my whole issue. It really upsets me that we pay for water. So he starts giving out names. First one was because all he said was By the way, this was I'm not gonna, what, I'll talk about that later. Second was boo, because stomach exploded, popped out, boo. He asked me if I wanted to see what was underneath his mask. He pulled it up and it was a concave face with maggots eating it. Now the first time I almost died, of this month. My entire life I've almost died countless times. Probably 47 times to be exact. But it was a concave face, and the first time I almost died, I clearly remembered in many different ways bashing my face into some concrete, or bashing my face into some wall, or the eyeballs out, walking into some water. And the other one is way too graphic to say, but just know I just so, and I clearly remember all these, like vividly remember each and every time in GTA that I got wasted. So back to the dream. He asked if I was scared, and I was like, well, I can't say anything in this dream. But he just pulled his mask back down. And then I realized it wasn't him that was talking. It was the tiny head on his staff. And when I started paying attention to him, he said, "Cool. Cuckoo bird. Cuckoo clock. Just in time. Cool." Also, it's on my staff I have inside, but if you listen to my song Umbuku, it's the thing that's going, yeah, in the background. I used a lot of my art stuff in that song. It's a reggae song because Bob Marley was my hero. He united a nation just off of music and dancing. And that scared me. And they tried to kill him. But he was just a peaceful man who just smoked a little reefer. He was just a peaceful man. Besides his song, I Shot the Sheriff. But it was in self-defense. Second time that I almost died, the police came into my house and they said that I attacked them. I said, hey, you guys are strangers, unannounced, coming into my home, as far as I saw. In a dark basement because I didn't have the lights on. Yeah, I thought y'all was some intruders. So now I walk with a limp. My grandpa's knife that I got when I was 9, he died when I was 9, it's gone. The police took my cheeks. That was my little stuffed baboon, stuffed mandrill. This beanie baby that I had that was connected to some trauma, and I kept it to remind me basically of that and moving on from that. So, Boo said, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun. And I was like, cool. I'm the cuckoo man. Hoodoo man, voodoo man, cuckoo man, hey. So, as soon as he calls down this bird, it's from the right side, goes. And the colors was like this one. The colors of the background revealed itself, and it had a little bit of blue. This has a lot of blue, but it had a little bit of blue. Now, where is this at? What is this one to? By the star, when it goes down, your companion, your champion, is neither astray nor being misled, nor does he say anything of his own desire. It is no less than inspiration sent down to him. He was taught by one mighty in power, endued with wisdom, for he appeared in stately form. While he was in the highest part of the horizon, then he approached and came closer, and was at a distance of by 2 bow length, or even nearly. So did God convey the inspiration to his servant, conveyed what he meant to convey. The prophet's mind and heart is in no way falsified that which he saw. And heart in no way falsified that which he saw. Will you then dispute with him concerning what he saw? For indeed, he saw him at a second descent, near the latte tree, I think it's latte, or lote tree, freely loke, beyond which none may pass. And the 3 names, have you seen Lot, Usa, and another, the third goddess, Mnat. I always stop talking about this dream after the bird because that's where the dream trailed off. Something that I have to figure out, cicada theory. So, in the backgrounds, and if you watch We Are Live, start from episode 4 and just keep on going. But specifically when she's in the lighthouse with her paintings, and it didn't become clear to her until she smudged it, and then it was perfect. And she did it from right bottom like that. And it revealed it. And her masterpiece got punched through. Every time I recorded, I would just say my poem. I say, I see. I say, I saw what only makes sense to me. I say, I see. I speak, I spoke. So me becomes we. I say, I see. One for all is me. I said, I say. Oops. Who said he sees? Doesn't matter, because either way, I see me, and I'm proud of we. There was a whole lot more to it. Went way deeper, but the recording got deleted and it's just lost now. Luckily, I got the second recording. The second time I almost died, but wow, is that traumatic to listen to. But I listened to it, because I had to. I remember the day, but I wanted to hear it from somebody else's perspective, pretty much. And the other person's perspective was just my own, from my phone, alone, hearing me scream, oh no, and watch. So that's all I had to do was just watch. My traumas all come from watching. So the tiny head said, all I need you to do is tell the world who we are. And I said, I will do nothing but tell the world who you are. And I delayed for a long time, but Umbuku, Bu, and Ku were all a dream. But if you read the Quran, then it was a vision. You read the Bible, it was a prophecy. You follow Buddhism, then it was trials. And if you believe in anything, then it was a revelation. So, I kept on saying I'm in Buku, the first rider, when I was in the ambulance, and when I was getting manhandled by police. In 2 different instances. All a week apart. First week, I lost my job because they didn't tell me we had overtime, but they swore they told me we had overtime. But I write everything down. I have so many notebooks I filled at that job. So, no, nobody told me we had overtime. Somehow that was my fault and they didn't want to hear me talk. You know what that was. Second week, I almost died. Super embarrassed about the whole situation. I still got a little bit of shame from it. Not shame. No, not remorse. Guilt? Yeah, probably guilt. What I put everybody through. And then 3rd week, lost my mind. And almost lost my life again. 4th week, these all happened on Tuesdays, by the way. 4th week, I get home. Tuesday again. Tonight, I'm staying up till Tuesday. And I'm going to finish doing what I was meant to do on this night. And everybody says that I'll be crazy or something like that. But if you had a dream like that, and everything lined up from your dream in reality, what would you call that? They say a broken clock's right twice a day. I say, if it's right 24 hours, then what's broken, the clock or your perspective on time? Because it's not the clock. The clock just keeps on ticking. Watch. So yeah, I always stop at cool. I don't even think I finished boo. Either way, staff comes at me. Went, he threw the staff like a spear at me. Boo. Boo. And out popped. I can't even explain what it was, but it came at me and it devoured me. And I woke up feeling like a new beginning was starting. And when I got out of the cuckoo's nest, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. When I got out of the cuckoo's nest, everything became way more clear. I started just fully embracing who I was instead of hiding it to make everybody else comfortable. I do all my hoodoo man, voodoo man, cuckoo man, hey, in my basement, by myself, alone. Maybe one day I'll like upload that where you can hear what went down. And you can see that, no, I'm not crazy. I just wasn't ready for what I got at the time. And I had to go away, because if I didn't go away, I wouldn't have gotten this. I wouldn't have found me. Those who reject signs of God and the meeting with Him in the hereafter, it is they who shall despair of my mercy. It is they who will suffer the most gracious penalty. And God most certainly knows those who believe and certainly those who are hypocrites. So, with that I say, it doesn't matter who believes me and who doesn't. Because I said, I see. And that day what I saw me. 3. So, that's that. And when I was in the Benny Bin, learned a lot of things with like self-help, but number one thing that I learned is something that I repressed, and it was from, I'll just sign it, matter of fact. And I ain't do it to myself, they did it to me, but I got me down. So at 7 is when I got cheeks. 4, cut self down from the tree. 7, got the monkey, put him back in one. My family tree, mother. My mama watching, so I ain't gonna curse. Shout out Absol. Do what thou wilt. Alright, I'm heading inside, because I'm cold as hell. And I'm not. Every time I lost my mind, I was outside trying to explain something. Feeling so misunderstood and so misheard. Feeling like I was talking to myself, and now I'm talking to myself. Hey. But like I said, 1, 2, 3, no eyes on me. 4, 5, 6, itching. Monkey boy got ticks. 7, 8, 9. Could have been a nightmare, something a little bit more divine. But 10, 11, 12. Oh no, that's, I don't come over there. Cut it, I'm going inside. I'm not finishing the poem. Ask me about it or something.